Hello, everybody. My name is Sam Durbridge, or Samuel Durbridge. I am a writer, an author, a peacemaker, and I believe in your dreams as a reality now. They exist. They're here. And I believe in my own as well. I want to let you know, for all those that are new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. I am going to talk about a third part, and I recommend to go check out the previous videos. If you haven't seen them, go watch them first. But if you feel like you want to watch this right now, you're welcome to. I was talking in my previous video about that I'm a vegan, but not just a vegan. I'm a gluten-free, dairy-free, and I have to say dairy-free because some people don't realize that vegan is a dairy-free idea. I've had that question tons of times, so that's why I say it. Also, I like to adapt and let people be aware. I'm aware of things. I don't disbelieve anything. I believe in everything until I see a different outcome. So I don't disbelieve, nor do I really believe, but I'm aware and I find solutions with what's told. But I also like to be aware and then give people my information of what I know if it differs, but I still understand if it's their experience, I take it in consideration. Now, what I have noticed is what affects me. Now, we're all different. We all have different blood types, different skin types, different whatever, based on our biological and cultural and basically atmosphere of where we were born and where we came from and where our development of our ancestors originated from. And so the nature nurture aspect does affect us all, and so we need to be aware of that. I care about everyone, no matter what you are, what being you may be. I believe in you and care about you for the things that I harmonize with, that I believe in. And I believe in healing and caring and providing wisdom so that people can learn to get better from the problems that they may be in that are similar to what I've witnessed and have learned. And so I'm going to tell you right now, I believe in doing my best to smile all the time. And so I try to joke and do my best because a smile is energy. Look at Jake Ducey's channel. He just put one up recently, and I recommend to go check him out. He's a really good guy, very powerful, and he basically understands what I understand. And I wrote my same studies and my experience in my book. He's done pretty much as I have done, and I want to say he's done a lot more as well. And I'm glad I got drawn to his channel, and I've gone through this similar kind of awakening as he has to things. I also appreciate all the other awakening channels I've been part of, and many people that I had great conversations in the comments with. Good for all of you. I believe in you, and thanks for sharing and learning at such a young age for many of you. Some of you learned at 16 or 14 or earlier, and that is just amazing. Good job. And I'm just glad that we're all recognizing how to love and believe in people and find solutions and to visualize and to come together, and so that we can push away doubt of each other. And so good for all of you. Now, I want to let you know right now that the questions I've been asked personally is about the vegan aspect. The vegan aspect is, people say, oh, well, if you eat vegan, you miss certain nutritional values or different things. Well, that's why you don't just do vegan, because some people that do vegan go for GMO, genetically modified organism is how I describe it, but it's genetically, mechanically something. There's different terms for it that people can classify it as. But GMO is basically something that was genetically mixed organisms. And basically they mix different things together to make more nutrients for that fruit or whatever based on their science or what they feel, or they medicated it, or they did other things to it. And they don't tell you in all the foods that you eat and the vegetables whether it was medicated or not or what, unless it says non-GMO and non-pesticide or things like that. And so I'm more organic because I'm aware of that. And I also prefer to stay away from pesticide foods. And Roundup is a type of pesticide or type of thing that does that, because it's healthier to just go for the organically certified, protected, like it was in the Bible. So I mentioned the Bible in my last video, and I'm going to tell it to you right now and tell others what it is the Bible talked about Daniel and his buddies. And many of you can look up the names and all of that. There's many of them, and they had one names for one class of their group, and then their religious names. Well, I want to let you right now know that this scripture talks about the fact of what they all learned. And the pagans actually ate meat, and that's where a lot of the Western food comes from, and the gluten, putting in bread and doing that, wheat gluten or whatever you want to call it. They genetically modify or change these a lot too. And I go for the science and the spiritual knowledge, and I learned that they go with lentils and flaxseed and all of that. In Ezekiel, in the scriptures in the Bible, it mentions what they ate and what they were taught to eat and why it is. Now, why is that there? For us. It's for us. We're supposed to be aware of it. It was nice that someone left that in there, even though they took out a lot of other good stuff too. You can find it somewhere else throughout different religions. But within this, it does talk about some really cool things. And it talks about the fact that they said that, okay, test us. We'll eat this food. You can eat your meat. We'll eat vegetables and fruits and flaxseed and grains and crates, or not crates, but grit, I think, or different things like that. It was mentioned, similar. And they ate that, and it was amazing because none of these had egg or animal at all. It was all basically vegan. Joseph Smith in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints even mentioned that it would be pleasing to Heavenly Father if we just did do vegetables and fruits, but don't get after anybody for choosing to eat the other. That is a choice that we all have to make. We choose to serve others or choose to serve ourselves, and we choose to not judge people's experience, but we give them knowledge so that they can have the choice to make that decision for themselves. Now, I learned, luckily, from a great, wonderful blood doctor who taught me some things, and I looked up information on other blood doctors and analysis that they've done, and I realized what's going on. It's not just GMO foods. They're putting gel-like form nanotech in your syringes when you get shots and vaccines, even when they take blood and give you blood. They've been doing that for a while now. And it's newly being told that they are starting to do it, even though they've been doing it. And the reason why I know that is because people notice things going into their skin, a little black thing, and they're like, what are you doing? What is that? And they took videos of showing that it was happening. There was other people that tried to come out and tell people, and I saw some of those. And so I'm letting you be aware of it. Go find it yourself. But I do know that most nurses and people that are doing it aren't aware of this happening, and some of them do. Some of them are just doing what they think they're told to, not believing it, and then they catch on later as they open their mind and see. And so that's why I don't believe anything or disbelieve anything. I'm aware of everything. I look at things, and those things I miss, someone will make up and show me, and I'll figure it out eventually. And even if I miss it, I know the spirits don't, God and higher self doesn't, and they help inspire me when it's appropriate. And sometimes I go through things and then I get taken out of those things and protected. It's so wonderful. I love it. I'm protected. So are you. And so I want to let you know I love you. I pray for everybody. And that's why for those that watch my video, I pray and I believe right now, anybody that watches any of my videos, you are blessed. Because that is what my energy is for. I want you to be blessed. This is knowledge. This is information. You can do it with what you will for your own choice. But I do it out of my heart and my soul. I really do love you with every fiber of my being and more. And so I understand this because of the water studies. And so here's something I wanted to bring up. The Bible talks about doing this type of eating. So Daniel and his buddies did that. And then the other children that didn't, the other priests, young priests that were there, the apprentices or whatever, they got sick. And the king's like, okay, they need to eat the food that these other ones that are healthy eat. Let's do that now. They're right. And as they grew up, these other boys got jealous and frustrated at how amazing this Daniel and his buddies were with their spiritual belief in a higher being or God, creation and prayer. Well, when Daniel was thrown in the lion's den for praying, because he broke the law, and he even raised that pagan king, and that pagan king didn't even know what he was doing, and he felt bad when he realized, but he says, the law is the law, but pray to your God. I hope your God saves you. Hope your belief in your God saves you. And so it did. It saved him. He got out of the lions' mouths were shut. Now, why were the lions' mouths were shut? Now, I believe it's because he's connected to the higher being, not just because he's a vegan or ate non-GMO healthy foods, but because of what God commanded us to eat in the garden and on. And that's why they lived, I believe, till 1,000 years or more, because they never, ever affected themselves with meat. Those of us that have, we may live longer, but if we've ever eaten meat, it's got to get out of our system, but our system has to get used to the new. And so it may keep us living long as well. It's better to eat this way at the beginning, because then you'll live even longer like Adam and them did. And then any of the bad air and the things that are out there that are going in your water or other stuff, they get kicked out. But do not drink water things. Try to filter the fluoride out as much as possible. Pray for it. That's another thing. The water studies notice that when you pray for things, do your best. Do your part. So filter your part. Then, after you've done that, then pray for it. Don't just pray for it knowing that it's bad, unless when you know you can do the other. Try to find a way to do the other. But if you have no other choice at the moment, you always have a choice. But when it's a little bit difficult, then pray. Do something else. But I recommend look up AquaTrue, look up things that are close to good until you find the perfect one. And even though I do AquaTrue filter, I also have to get it out of that plastic container into another container, but I still love it and praise it. And this is what I do with drinking juices and things. When I pour it out of a container, out of the glass containers, the juice, the pomegranate blend juice I do from Lakewood, and I always do glass bottle ones that are non-GMO. I pour them in the glass, and I think, okay, I'm in the old dimension in my old life where I'm at this current circumstance, but now I'm jumping into the new life. I do that technique. You can look at Jake Ducey's channel, and he'll explain things like that, and so will others. But yeah, you dump that in there, and then you go into one bottle to another, and then that bottle is like your future, and then you pick it up with your right hand. Why do you do your right hand? Because your right hand is receiving blessings. I didn't know that, but we were taught something similar. Use your right hand, passing out the sacrament. Do all this with your right hand because it blesses people. And I'm like, okay, blessing with your left hand gives and right takes, but it also gives abundance. So when they grab with their right hand, you're grabbing with your right hand, it blesses you both. You're both receiving power and blessings. Rather than one's giving to the other, you're both receiving together. And that's awesome. Anyway, I went over a little bit on this one, but I wanted to let you know that I love you all. You're all important to me. You all matter to me. And I believe in your dreams. Now, I want you to know that as you believe in yourself and you think about others, you eat the Organifi food. I recommend go for the Organifi brand, as well as some others. And if you have questions, ask me, and I can tell you what you can look into. But look into it. Don't just take my word for it. Talk to your healthcare professionals if you prefer. I recommend full body medicine doctors and nutritionists who know the truth, the ones that work at Natural Grocers or others that are aware of these studies like I am. And I talked to a great person that taught me great information, and I now can do it on my own. I'm still learning. But I love you all. Thank you for your time. I will do another video, and I'm not going to call it part 4. I'm actually going to bring up another idea that goes along with being vegan to answer the question of the concerns people have. And then I'm actually going to go into something totally even more cool that I believe you'll be impressed by. It fits in all of this, and I'm all about visualizing. So thank you so much for your time. I love you all. Here we go.